Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today I'd like to show you a couple of easy ways for you to hook up your Zoeller M53, install your sump pump. Real simple, real quick. Great project for the do-it-yourself homeowner.
Okay, so we're ready to set up our Zoeller M53. This pump's a great pump. It's a third of a horsepower, has a single pole float, so as water rises up in that pit, lifts up the float, kicks it on. You can hear it clicking on and off. Start with a threaded male 1.5" adapter. It screws right in place here. We're just going to put it together hand tight for right now, and then we'll tighten it up in a second. Next, we're going to put a piece of 1.5" PVC. We just need to get above the bar right here, and then we're going to put a check valve on there. So let's cut off a piece of pipe. It doesn't have to be any kind of exact measurement. We just need to get above that bar. Make sure that the end of your pipe is nice and cleaned off, because we're going to use some PVC cement. Okay, so we've got our piece of 1.5" pipe cut. Now we're going to go ahead and put some glue on there. Remember that this glue sets up really quick, and we're just going to line the outside of the pipe. We'll go ahead and line inside the fitting as well. Push it down on there and just hold it in place, because it tries to work itself out just for a second. That's good. It's nice and tight. Next, we're going to put a check valve on there. And the reason we put a check valve on there is because we don't want the water to come back down through and spin the impeller backwards. So we're switching these no hubs around. These are black rubber no hubs, 1.25", 1.5". We want 1.5". They come with clamps. Whoops. They come with clamps. We'll put these clamps on here and we'll tighten them up using our handy dandy Black & Decker drill. Any type of drill will work. Nice and tight. Same thing on this one. We're just tightening them up. Hard to see it, but there's a little arrow that says flow. That's the direction of we want the water, because there's a little flapper in here that keeps the water, as it pushes that up, opens it up. And then when the pump shuts off, the flapper drops back down and keeps the water from coming backwards. So we want to put that on with the arrow pointing in the right direction. And we use our handy dandy drill, tighten it up. Perfect. Now we're ready to go ahead and install the pump inside. We'll continue plumbing from the top of it, come up, come out through the wall. Okay, so basically I've just taken off the riser from the other pump, because this is going to fit exactly. This is a male 1.5" adapter. This is our new Zoeller M53. We're going to screw it on here tight. Then we're going to put the same pieces back. Here's the check valve. It works with little clamps called no hubs. We'll tighten those up. You can see how it's going to go together. Go ahead and put our clamps on. Kind of cold out here, so hang in there. And we want our pump, make sure it's going to fit the same way. Yep. Looks real good. So we can tighten this one up. Tighten up all of our clamps. Remember that your check valve only allows water to flow one way. We're going to double check. I see an arrow on this side pointing upwards, So we know that we're all set. Now we're going to set the pump back in, and we'll use a no hub, which is a rubber clamp with bands, perfectly watertight, lasts for hundreds of years. So we'll start by cutting this discharge line right here, and then when we put it back together, we'll put 1.5 inch no hub so that it's very easy to put back together. There'll be water in this line because there's a check valve, but should be able to get through it. There we go. So now we're ready to just push this cord through the little hole here where they got come out. Pull it out of the way. And if you notice that the float's completely up, we're ready to plug it in just to make sure it works again. There it goes, it's taking it right down. Beautiful. And then of course the last thing we're going to do is put the lid on. And it just snaps in place. And you're done. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. Now we're on bag 4. A little bit of the concrete, we've got our footer in there. Now we just made a slurry to help hold down the mesh. Now we're going to do the final mix, then we'll float it, and we should be done. Probably about another hour. Mixing is tough, as you can see, especially when it's 90+ degrees and 100% humidity. Welcome to Florida.